surfing now, everybody's learning how. Come on a safari with me.
Well then guys, as you can see, probably here, and more than likely be able to tell by its speed, I've got another bike. I know. I'm a bit like Apple von Crumble. Well, I'm not like Apple von Crumble, but I'm out of bikes. We both keep swapping between pair of us. Yeah, I've been out and got myself a BMW R1200GS, the LC version. No, I haven't won the lottery, unfortunately. I've got it on one of them P2P deals that they do. Them personal deals that they do. With the good value, because they get you on a decent bike for no much more money than you'd actually spend on a finance deal or a bank loan on an older bike. I know, cue the jokes about old man syndrome and everything else, but I did have a GS before. I had a 2010 version, and when I look back about, well, certainly the last 4 years of my biking experiences, I always look back on that GS as being the best bike I had, really, for all round stuff. Yeah, it's not a sport bike, but trust me, when you get used to hanging off them, they don't do too bad. I'll do a very quick walk around, and there's hundreds of videos on the internet about the GS, but I'll have a quick walk around. Yeah, it's a little torque monster. I think it's 125 brake horsepower and 125 newton meters of torque, so it's it don't hang about. You know what I mean? They're a big old bike. I don't know if camera can show you, but they're a big old machine. But once you get rolling, they're not. I mean, to be fair, they're not anyway, are they? When you're experienced of having bigger bikes, nice place to park. Yeah, so I've been to Whitby on it. I've been well, when I first got it, I spent 8 hours on it in one day. Not obviously constant riding, but did 300 and odd miles in one trip, or one day out, in relative comfort. I mean, it was cold when we set off and put heated grips on, 3-stage heated grips. And yet it's nice, does everything you really want a bike to do. I mean, I have filtered on it. I certainly wouldn't want to chuck it through Nottingham or London. But saying that, that's just my lack of experience with filtering, because we're living in sticks, as you can see. Filtering's not something that really presents many challenges. The odd times you've got to fly down outside the traffic or through gaps going up to roundabouts, it's more than capable. It's got the nice big LED headlamp on and the auxiliary light, so it stands out fairly well. And yeah, I do like it. But don't we all say that when we all get a new bike and we love it and like it, and best thing since sliced bread, and then you go get something else because you're bored? But that's just life. Nice indicators. Steady there, yeah. So you can get it over, as you can see, which isn't too bad of a lean angle. And if I just give it a quick blot here, I'm in second gear now, and wind it on. That's 80, and that's 100, and I'll obviously kilometres an hour, officer. Yeah, so it don't do bad. It covers ground. It does it in comfort. The lean angles is something you got to. It's like lean angles on a sport bike. You've got to get off your bike. You've got to start leaning it over, and I've put some faith into it. And sport bikes, because you've got a lot of weight over the front end and you sat forward, it gives you a bit more confidence tipping it into bends. Where this, as daft as it sounds, you're doing similar speeds, but because you're not of at front end, it just gives you that sense of ooh, and by I mean, is she gonna do it? Is it gonna grip? Is it gonna go round? I'm not doing bad on noddages today. Fucking hell, I'm like fucking. I got none on CRF. Yeah, CRF, no issues with it. No, it's just it was too single-minded. And I'm planning on going to Scotland at least twice this year, up to Isle of Skye. I've done it a few times before, and that bike just wouldn't have done it. And I did get the CRF in every intention that when biking season come round this year, I would get myself a bigger bike. Yeah, so she's nice. Yeah, she covers ground. And I've got this Ride Tour X on, and I'm telling you now, it seems a bit windy with hot vents on, and you probably can tell that. Yeah, it just breezes past things, you know what I mean? I'm 6 gear, and I've got it in rain mode, by the way. It's got rain. I don't know why I've got it in rain mode. I actually cleaned the bike the other day, and I was messing around with stuff. So it just did what it did on lowest setting, by the way. And you've got road, an enduro, and dynamic, I think it is. And each one of the settings turns off a little bit and increase its fueling and mellows throttle off a bit. Because certainly, I kid you not, when you get it into dynamic modes, it's a bit leery. It's fly-by-wire throttle, so like seriously, quarter of a turn's maxed out. So you can imagine how feather-like you have to be with responses to get it to move on. And when you've got it in rain mode, it kills everything down. So you can ride it really, really nice. But get it in dynamic modes, and front end's coming up, and traction control's kicking in to keep front end down, and it needs it. And that's another thing about this BMW and all BMWs. The electronic trickery that BMW have got, they've mastered that. You can give it a fistful, and you can give it a fistful out of bends, and ESP and everything, it's tightened suspension up, it stops it from wheeling. Yeah, it cuts power down to everything, stops it wheeling. But it allows front end to come up just enough. Oh, just enough. Is front end up in air just enough acceptable? Well, you know what I'm saying. You give it a good old right hand, and front end lifts up, and just as normally you'd want to cut it off yourself, or give it a bit of back brake, even if you're shitting yourself. The engine cuts in, engine management cuts in, kills a bit at revs, kills power. Front end comes down relatively nice, so it lifts up, comes down with no major dramas, other than making you look like a riding god. So thank you, BMW. What else? I could rave on about this bike forever, and it's same when anybody gets a new bike. You can rave on forever. Ooh. That's one thing you get to, at least other BMW owners will give you a nod. Yes, as I was saying, you know what it's like, you get a new bike, it's brilliant and you love it, and I'm in that place now, it's brilliant and I love it. Yeah. Newness will wear off, fondness will wear off and everything else, but But I've got to be honest with you, this is going to be a keeper. I'm going to get past that urge to replace it with a sport bike when I want a sport bike urge, and then replace it with a crosser because I want to go off-roading. I'm keeping this. I'm keeping it. I'm going to get some miles on, and I'm going to live the dream. Live the dream. But yeah, I'm going to get away on it, get round Scotland, and have some fun. Right, I'll do a walk round. I'll pull up in a lay-by and do a walk round. So I'll speak to you in a bit. Yeah, so people, there she is. I'm not going to do a massive big in-depth thing on it because there's loads of videos on YouTube, and although I am in love with it, I don't want to bore you all to death with it. But that's it, the 2014 GS 1200 LC, and it's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Looks a big old brute, but it really ain't. It genuinely ain't. As you can see, I've got the driver protection aid on it. This is "Can you see me now, fucker?" Basically, I had a GS 2010, like I said, and I got knocked off it. Somebody pulled out on me and T-boned me straight in the centre of my bike. I lifted my leg up so she didn't crush my leg, and off I went. Soft tissue damage and a whole heap of pain. Crying her eyes out, saying, "I didn't see you, I didn't see you." And then, believe it or not, when it went to insurance, she started saying that I was speeding and blah blah blah. But luckily I took pictures. Well, I didn't take pictures at the scene. A friend of mine who saw me on floor took some pictures, showed where my bike had finished up from where I'd slid to. And 2.5 years later she accepted full liability and job done. But it's given me that real bad sense of every time I'm approaching a junction, regardless what speed, they don't fucking see you. I mean, I looked at this woman in her eyeballs, she stared at me back and then pulled out and hit me, and I don't know, I'll calm down because I'm getting emotional about it, because it fucked me right off. So you love it or like it. It's got them stickers on, corner beak fender stickers. It's just that section there and there. And to be fair, if somebody doesn't see you now, fucking hell, God help me. I'm getting waves and all sorts now. I've got a man bike again. Yeah. So there she goes. As you can see, I don't know if that gives it justice, but it's a big old brute with twin cylinder, with boxer engine, huge big power lump. It's got all sorts going off on it. It's got all the electronic stability, automatic suspension actually changes as you're riding. So when it senses, and it's within split second when or road use, it changes all automatically. Heated grips, 2 settings, different modes for rain, dynamic, enduro and enduro pro, and that just turns off various electrics. ABS, you can switch it off. Bloody hell! And that's you know, you really do start feeling spoilt when you've got cruise control. But when I went to Whitbit the other day and we did that many miles and your arm starts aching, you want to give it a rest. Normally you take your hand off your throttle and bike nose dives, or you want to just clean your visor, or do all. You just set that to whatever speed you want and chill out. I'll start it and give you a look. I'll start it when I take it out of first gear. Neutral. Yeah, it's got all the lights on, the auxiliary lights on the front end. So it's got LED running light, LED headlamps, LED main beam and LED fog lamps. And then obviously when you get down, I don't know if this camera's going to pick it up, but it kicks out a fair bit of light and says, Woo, can you see me? Not everybody's cup of tea, but I love it. Right guys, I just wanted to have another right quickie now, because I know I've been rambling on a bit. Thanks to everybody who subscribed to me. Thanks to everybody who comments on my videos. I don't beg and plead subscribers, because I'm not in this for fame or glory. I do it, and if I can interest 20 people, I can interest 20 people. If I can interest one, I can interest one. And that does not mean, though, that I clearly don't appreciate all you guys who, one, have took the time to press the subscribe button. Thank you. And then all the guys who comment. Mainly all good. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will catch you later. Cheerio.